received this little small sheet that has this one. This is the first one. It shows a budget summary from what was sent from the previous service provider. One of the things that we noted on here is that it shows the levy amount, but it didn't include the carryover. And so one of the things that we wanted to make sure that we put on here in the new budget is this life
The
size
levy,
paper.
just for people that don't understand the levy and the carryover, can you just say what the differences are?
So the levy is the current tax receipts that we're going to receive from this year.
So this is from the taxpayers. The levy is the actual deposit that we get from the taxpayers.
Right.
That in the commercial corridor, which is the money that we use for the snow removal. So it's paid out, what, twice a year? But
Twice a year, March and I believe
when we get our
August.
tax bills. So we do get them at separate, we get separate drops in the bank account. Just sometimes we pay taxes later, earlier, but that's when we refer to levy, that's what we mean by levy.
Right. And the carryover are funds that were not used from the prior year. And it carries over to the next budget.
And they don't like to look at, they don't like that to be a large number because it seems that we don't need, they will reduce the tax amount if we don't use all the funds for the working year. So we want to make sure we're providing service. You said,
Let's clarify.
Yeah, let me clarify that.
that's what we're told, that's not.
No, you're on the right track. I just want for everybody here, I just want to clarify. So the carryover, in order to spend that carryover that's left over in the following year, there needs to be city council authorization of that. And because that was not included in this budget that was approved by city council last fall, it's not a problem, but we do need to go back to city council for a budget amendment. And that is a time to, for you to discuss and make changes. You're adding this as a second source of income. The carryover is added as a source of income along with the existing levy for 2015. So you'll have two sources of income, and then in this budget summary, you'll also show how you're going to allocate that carryover amount to which line items.
So when is the next city council meeting?
May 6th, but our lead time is 3 weeks prior to the next city council meeting. That's because we have to have all the documentation.
So we need this to be approved by, I guess when is our date that we need to get something to?
Well, we're gonna do this for the June
Right.
submission.
We do all of the budget modifications
I just want to make sure
together,
we need
so.
to make sure
Plus,
we have it.
we need, at that point, the new elected official will be in place, and of course, you're
When
gonna
does
need
that happen?
support. I'm sorry,
When does that officially happen?
which one? What official?
New elect.
All the new
May
city
18th
council.
on?
May 18th?
So, what you have proposed here would be put in place for our upcoming submissions for June.
So we need to probably schedule a meeting with you to make sure we have
Emergency
an
meeting.
emergency
Right.
meeting.
We do an emergency meeting.
Okay,
Sometime
so,
first of May.
but then we need to get I just want to make sure when we have to have numbers by you, to you, because you're saying 3-week lead time, I don't want us to wait till the last minute to
Well,
have.
let me speak to that because I've already talked to Farsouth about this.
Okay.
You'll have plenty of time because
Okay.
we agreed on the timetable with my SSAs that I manage. I do everything at least 5 to 10 days prior so that we don't have hiccups. And if we do, we have a buffer in between all of that to work things out. And then they come back and then we'll discuss them internally. If there's an issue, then, you still got time. So,
Suggestions to meet with him first, before,
well,
or?
and talking to Far South already about making sure that they sit down and have a conversation with you,
Okay,
starting that process.
okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we all knew.
Good job. Good. And so, do you guys, how much time we got?
It's 9:41.
So, do you guys want to go over the budget now, or do you want to wait? Because we already submitted a draft here. So,
Well,
you guys
I wanna-
want to wait and then we meet as an emergency meeting?
Yes.
We need a separate meeting for that.
So that's
Because I want to make sure
separate.
that we've all had
Yes.
time to look at this, and if we have questions, or, submit questions, about line items, things of that nature.
So this will, what we'll be actually approving when we have our emergency meeting?
Well, this is what we're going to go over.
Okay.
And
So-
then you guys can decide.
If this is
If
what
this
we
is
want to
sufficient,
approve,
right.
or change some dollar amounts
Right, to
Okay.
move around things, especially with the carryover.
now and so,
meeting.
so we get a motion for that.
I've got one more comment.
Sure.
When going over this in draft form, I think this is the page that is on the front. be mindful that you don't have anything for late collections, which I can provide you with that number.
Okay.
And then,
That's also the old budget. That's the budget that was given by the chamber.
Okay.
That's
So
fine.
on this one, the late, we did put a late
Late
collection
collection.
on here.
and,
It was about 21,000,
and
but
then you have a loss collection percentage in here too?
yeah, we do. It's
Okay.
yeah. We
Oh, okay,
follow
so
for
no,
1.1%.
You just wanna make sure we have those two. Okay. And those are, if we have to pay a vendor late due to not getting a buffer, what is that? What are those?
The late collections is, let's say, somebody didn't pay their taxes, previously, but won the lottery and decided, I don't know, they have to go ahead and pay their taxes.
Oh, so
If you had not,
collection.
if you had not anticipated that money, then you would not be able to spend it as it was scheduled over your budget. And then loss collections is, and we are currently experiencing that now, where folks appeal their taxes, or there's some exemption that they didn't get. Or what happens to you is it's subtracted from your current money, even though it was
Or money
already.
that they just don't pay their taxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
So
anticipated
you
the
have
payment.
and your auditor can be of assistance in coming up with that percentage that you can put in there so that you don't run into a situation where you're super in the hole because you didn't get what was
And
anticipated.
you guys put a percentage in there, I think it was 1.1%.
No, we actually,
That's what it says, right?
we,
You guys increased it?
again, I'm, the new liaison on this, so this wasn't the budget that I reviewed. But what we're doing, what I'm doing currently with our groups is the auditor, when he's going through the audit, he will actually give
us the
a number.
Okay.
And this is, what you feel is comfortable for the commission and the SSA.
Okay.
So to table it, I'm just gonna table it, so we're tabling the budget discussion to further, parse out, we get the information to meet with you and go over the 2015 budget before the specified deadlines that you all have, right? Perfect. Garbage can update. And this is what I've been waiting for. Garbage can update.
Okay, so
It's cleaned up.
as you
Because
guys
some of them
know,
are knocked over, they knocked over.
they're leaning, they're bent, they're knocked over, they have a lot of issues
Yes.
that we don't, that the vendor wasn't, our community is different from Northside community. So it's a little bit, we have guys leaning on our garbage cans, we have people hitting the garbage cans. We've already removed 4 garbage cans that were just ridiculous. A&D picked those garbage cans up, but as soon as they put one back out, it got hit. That's the one across the
By
street from
car,
Chef
I didn't get hit by
Sarah's.
cars?
Yes.
So they're heavy.
Yes, they're steel. So when I sent the guy messages of these pictures, he was appalled. He couldn't believe what was going on. He doesn't understand why they look like that. He's confused. And long story short, sad to say, because it's not the typical damage, it's not covered by warranty. That's wear and tear. So
What about insurance? Is insurance covering these at all? Is there any sort of type of insurance that we have in place
it
that
would.
would cover?
It would be as much as the garbage can itself, probably.
Well, that's a question about the chamber, whether or
No,
not the
the
chamber
info.
had insurance on them.
They said they did.
We would have to review, the
Yeah.
terms of that, insurance, because,
It's-
trying to figure out whether they're gonna replace it.
I doubt it's for a replacement.
Right. That's what I'm saying, I'm like.
If somebody's injured because of the garbage.
Right.
Okay.
If somebody was hit
Yeah.
and maybe at the garbage can and they wanted to rope that into their lawsuit. It's a lot.
I think last year, and talking, first of all, the design of those garbage cans are just horrible. And we need to look at,
Well,
in
better
terms of
way
the,
to
in terms
install
of
them.
Oh,
Yes,
in
with
terms
the
of the
mount.
structure of it,
Yes.
it needs to,
Liability agenda.
it needs to be something that can be mounted to the ground without that.
I agree, and his thing about mounting it to the ground is that it would rust and it wouldn't make it.
Not if they put a liner underneath it.
Well, I'm working with Ananias. Ananias he's working with me to try to figure out how to do it. He may even, instead of us buying new garbage cans, he was talking about maybe he would have a way to create the garbage cans. And he was saying, we could mount it this way. So I'm setting up a meeting with Ananias and the guy from the vendor who created the garbage cans, because Ananias also has a idea as to a better way to install them. Because basically where we're at is we have 2 kinds of garbage cans. One that can probably be fixed with the post at the bottom being reinstalled, and then we have another one that the other kind that just may not make it and they can't be fixed. I have pictures of the bottom of it, so it's just real interesting. I can't really explain it.
No,
But
I've looked at them, and where there's, if they're gonna be installed on concrete, it's a, I don't wanna oversimplify it, but the best fix to it, because I've had to do it, I've got some of my own locations, is to put a plastic liner underneath it and concrete bolt them from the inside down through the concrete. That'll prevent any type of rust or any of that sort of stuff that we're concerned about, so.
And how about this, going forward, why don't we bring them in and have them present when it comes to the type of garbage can? How about we bring them in and let the commissioners kind of view?
Well, we can, or I can meet with you and Ananias.
Garbage can
at the
connoisseurs.
location.
Yeah.
well, and see, the thing about it is that then
I don't
they
think
have
we
to.
need to have a big.
They have to be designed that way. So again, if we choose to move forward with them, we have to choose to move forward with a different design because the way that they're designed, that's the only way they can be installed.
No, I understand
So-
the way they're designed, but I think that design is not going to work for us.
No, I definitely agree. I agree. So we're gonna, I'm in the
Committed to
process of
keeping them out
sending
because
him.
they're using them.
I'm trying to send him which ones
All the
can
time.
be fixed as opposed to which ones we may not be able to fix. So that's the garbage can.
Yeah, that was a major investment, so we don't wanna
Yes.
scrap what we
No,
have, we
we
wanna
wanna make
see if we
sure.
can fix what
We're
we
gonna
have.
try to fix
And
it.
then as we move forward, we may have to use a different vendor to create a different style garbage can that meets our needs, but that was a major investment.
Oh, I know.
It definitely was.
Yeah.
When do they pick up it's on the same as the city garbage? Sometimes some are overflowing with trash.
They
And I
are,
don't know
it's the same as.
I don't know if that's people from the neighborhood just dumping their garbage in there, because I see like overflows of
I
some.
think Clean Street actually picks the garbage,
Plain Street tops
Okay.
it off.
and they do it once a week.
They top it off,
They top
okay.
it off and then the city changes the actual garbage.
And they change that, when did that happen? Once a week?
It depends on what their day is
Oh,
on that
okay.
particular
When you
street.
say top it off,
Yeah,
what
was
do
it
you
top
say?
it off?
Top it off means that so that it's not full. They don't actually change the whole garbage. The city changes the garbage.
Can we look at seeing what the cost of that, removing the garbage?
Because some of those garbage are just,
Now, that's my biggest thing.
Right.
The alderman will tell you that,
Garbage right now.
and Barry will hear, I call constantly, they should pick that garbage up. And so I can't stand seeing a garbage overflowing or a garbage bag next to a garbage can.
I agree. And I'm thinking maybe we can discuss those costs at the budget meeting because we had to do some scaling back of Queen Street's contract compared to what we did. So,
Scaling back.
yes.
You want to done in 3 days?
We had it was a lot of money committed to Queen Street that wasn't in the budget. And so, that's something that's in the budget.
Right.
Um,
Any other questions about the garbage?
questions about
Well,
garbage?
I mean, that budget was approved on 427,000, and we're gonna be moving up to 517,000, so where's that?
Are we?
yes, we are. Yeah, but that's, we can
Well,
find a
y'all
way to
just tell me.
allocate those costs.
Give about
We
5
can
minutes to tell me what was the budget.
If you don't have no beautification.
Well,
No, because we want to make sure we are allocating funds to what we really need the funds at.
I agree,
Okay,
and we can
and we
find
need
the
clean
money to
streets.
allocate to it. And Queen Street, biggest thing
Or
was that.
Cleaner Street, not Clean Street the company, we need cleaner streets.
Well, we could, like I said, we get that. What the problem was, and let's take a couple seconds. The problem was, what Allison was saying was, according to the RFP that they submitted and that was approved, Clean Street had well over $100,000 worth of services that they were going to provide. But in the budget, it was somewhat $20,000 to $25,000 short of what is anticipated. So we had to go through it and say, okay, what is needed? Now, when it comes to the next budget discussion, we can discuss about how we're going to allocate some funds. Because, I mean, for them to come and pick up the garbage, I don't think that's going to be a lot. But what I'm saying is that we had to go through the contracts that were approved to try to make sure that the budget lines up with it. And that's what we'll do going forward when we get the budget meeting, because I think that's highly important.
And I also have a quote from